Well, what do you know? Here we are once again on another episode of The Wall, the Lab Video Game TV. I told you guys, our game's never fucking over.
Never.
No. This episode of The Wall, however, is going to be treated a little bit differently because what's going on here is we're going to treat it as a year in review, but a little bit further than a year, as we're going to go into some stuff that took place late 2019 that we need to recap as well. Because we hit hard in 2018, we hit even harder in 2019, and as hard as 2020 hit us, we hit back twice as hard. That's what I was taught. Somebody hits you, you hit them back twice as hard, and that's what we did. So, again, with Sir Triforce Johnson, Isaiah Triforce Johnson, once again, let's take it back to 2019. We already spoke about the Ghana Chronicles 2. There's a documentary out there for the Ghana Chronicles 2. There's also a documentary for the Elmina Slave Castle. Two really great documentaries. I'll leave the links below if you want to check them out, if you want to go back and revisit. But yeah, so we did speak about Africa 2019, but this kind of relates to what we're talking about now, because there's more Africa to come.
Yes.
Talk to us about Africa 2019, all the stuff that we forgot to tell these fine folks.
All right, so, as you know, we were in Africa. Our entire mission was to try to lay a foundation, put together the building parts to bridge Africa back to the Caribbean and throughout the Africa diaspora. We wanted to get people to understand that when Africa is representing in video games, social gaming, professional gaming, and esports and all those other things, that it's not just the continent that they're representing, it's the Africa diaspora as well. But we want to kind of set up that foundation on the continent. So going back to Ghana, we worked with a lot of guys there, some of the old guys, Kwesi. We definitely work with Rama. I forget his name.
Uba Rahamani.
Yeah,
Rahamani, television
yes.
guy, yeah. Esports guy, yeah.
From GGC. Big shout outs to you guys out there. Like I said, big shout outs to Kwesi from Ghana Esports Association. And the many different people that we ran into throughout the entire time. They did a great job. We even met up with some guys at Mesa. So we had a good...
It was called MEST, right?
Oh, no, yeah, it's not MESA, I'm sorry. It was
the lecture they had for those students.
MEST.
And I think that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. We did some stuff over there that wasn't even... Well, it wasn't gaming related per se, but, the way I see it is it's easy to implement video games into every single aspect of your life, because I'm sure for everything you've ever done, there's a simulation for it, you know what I'm saying?
Which is why I say video games is under the, in my opinion, the umbrella of entertainment and technology.
And education, because what I was about to say with the whole MEST thing is that, well, Triforce has spoken to us many times about STEM gaming and education through technology, and not only did we go to MEST, but we also visited a school.
Yes.
The building was already created, but they were
trying to put a school together.
Yeah, they were trying to put a school together. So that also brings, so video games isn't everything. So the MEST, even though in speaking to these people at MEST, he didn't really say a lot regarding video games. It was mentioned, and everything correlates with video games as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that's the age that we're in.
It is.
And there are a lot of the different countries in the world, from the US to China, Russia, even some parts of India that are ahead. And our job to go back to Africa is to get our people, moving forward in that we don't want to be last in the race. We have to be able to contribute to the development of this entire, entertainment and technology industry globally. So that's what our mission was down there for. We met up with a lot of people. We met with one of our Valkyries down there, Selma, and we did a real good job doing our campaign there.
And in doing that, in meeting Selma, we also met a couple more. We got actually created some more Valkyries, basically. I use the word created because it's something we're doing from scratch.
Yeah.
And there are at least 3 other wonderful African ladies who also helped us out, and they became Valkyries. So now there's a Valkyrie wing in Ghana. There's one in the USA, there's one in Jamaica, and there's one in Ghana. You're really growing, man.
Yeah, so that's the entire point. We wanna represent our ladies worldwide, and I don't want people to get the wrong ideal that they think that the Valkyries is just a bunch of African women. They're predominantly African, yes, because that's where our organization comes from. But Valkyries come in all different shapes, sizes, nationalities, and ethnicities. So.
Let me just take this a little bit further. You say that the Valkyries aren't necessarily African ladies, and I completely get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I've seen the wonderful, what's her name?
Valkyrie Arcana.
Is her name Arcana? Okay, that's the name I
Her
remember.
real name is Anna.
Yes, Anna.
Yeah.
I've seen Anna, and obviously she isn't necessarily that African. But here's the thing. Here's the sweet thing about Africa, and I'm going to ask you a question in a bit.
Okay.
I believe, first of all, I have to give a lot of props to you. I'm not even going to say Empire Arcade, but to you, because through working with you over the past couple of years, I've learned a lot, and there have been a lot of revelations. You know, my knowledge of Africa has expanded to great proportions, and that's mainly because of this guy here and going to Africa twice. Now, when he says that all the Valkyries aren't African, I beg to differ, and this is based on knowledge I got from him. We're all Africans. Why is Africa considered the motherland?
Because that's where the cradle of humanity started from. So actually, the truth of the matter is, if you're really speaking about it, we call it Africa now because that's the name known for it. That's not the original name for the motherland. We all know that the place originally is called Albakulan.
We all don't know that, I promise you.
Oh, actually, that's a good point. We all don't know that. But for the sake of this discussion, we call it Africa because that's what the world knows it as, and now knows it as. Even the people back on the motherland call it Africa. So now, because of that, the cradle of humanity comes out of Africa. So the reality is everyone is actually African. So you have Afro-Europeans, Afro-Asians, African Americans, Afro-Caribbean. I don't want it to make it sound like, oh, we don't have any Asian Valkyries, or we don't accept any white Valkyries, because we do.
And that was the point I was trying to make, that it's not like some extreme.
Yeah, because people will get that. When they look at the Valkyries and you see the Valkyries, the majority of the Valkyries are, of African descent. They're mostly black. So people will get the wrong idea.
Yeah, because I just noticed this. Whenever African people start talking too much about Africa, some people start to kind of withdraw and get uncomfortable. Like, what the hell is this? And start throwing spirits or something.
Which brings up a point. If there's an all-Korean team, no one bats an eye. There's an all Caucasian team, no one bats an eye. There's an all-African team, people kind of get uncomfortable.
People start going blind, they aren't even batting eyes anymore.
Hey, what?
Here's the thing though, Triforce, since we're talking about the Valkyries, we're already on the Valkyries, let's talk about the Valkyries. I think we have spoken about Africa enough. The last thing I want to say about Africa, however, before we move on to these lovely ladies, is what's the plan? Because COVID-19, all kind of things slow down. Esports worldwide, I think, got a stake to the heart, to be quite honest with you. Or at least shot in the knee. It's really wobbling about right now. So I'm saying, what's the plans?
Well, okay, regarding Africa, right now, COVID-19 has really mangled our plans for Africa. We have to try to kind of pivot to a more virtual approach to it. Selma is back in Ghana and she's working on bringing new Valkyries up, and we're trying to use our streaming platforms to connect us. Because right now and for the foreseeable future, a lot of people, they want to jump out of 2020 hoping 2021 is going to be better. I don't believe it's going to be better. I think it's going to get worse.
I never really got that though. Like, when people say enough of 2020, can't wait for 2021, what exactly do people think is going to happen?
After 2020, exactly.
At the stroke of midnight, all this is going to vanish?
Yeah.
A month afterwards, like 3 months, a year? Why are things going to get any better? I mean...
Based on the WHO and the CDC, we're in a pandemic. So until a pandemic can be staunched or squashed, traveling around will not be as big as, unfortunately, that I would like to. So we won't be, at least for me, Empress Nile and a couple of us, we won't be able to move around to Africa for right now. But what we're going to do is we're going to continue what we're doing regarding Africa here in Jamaica, and we're going to be using Twitch and YouTube to connect our sisters together, especially the Valkyries. They're going to be the one running the point this time around. So like later today, we have a podcast for the Valkyries' first podcast ever. We're going to be testing it out and people can talk. It's going to be Valkyries from Ghana, the Caribbean, and the America. That's going to all be coming in on the podcast. You're going to see all the girls together, and they're all going to be talking about stuff. And it's going to be, the podcast is called Hanging with the Homies. And I don't mean like the homies from the hood. I mean like the homie Amazons, the Manu people, the African female warriors. So it's going to be called Hanging with the Homies, and this is when the girls are going to get together and they're going to talk, and then they can share stories internationally. So that's what we're actually doing, because that's all we can do for right now. But you are 100% correct about esports taking a shot. I think it's a shot in the knee, because major esports, they have the online infrastructure to be able to continue to go forward. But
maybe I shouldn't even say shot in the knee, because I think if you get shot in the knee, that's like some irreparable damage. You're going to be walking funny for the rest of your life. So let's not say shot in the knee, but definitely shot, maybe a gut shot. But let's talk about the Valkyries now.
Yes.
Okay, well, it's year in review time. We just spoke about Africa. Let's talk about the year in review. We've done a lot of work with the Valkyries since January till now.
Yeah.
And basically, most of the stuff that has been done on the Lab Video Game TV in collaboration with Empire Arcadia had something to do with the Valkyries, basically. And it was a lot. And today being December, it's 12 months of fun.
Yeah.
Tell them about it.
Well, okay, so we had a plan with the Valkyries. We actually was going to try to get the Valkyries to go to Africa, but we already went over the fact that the pandemic kind of slowed things down. So we had to base a lot of our projects and activities out of Jamaica. And we had a huge meetup. We wanted to have some of the Valkyries from America and even Selma from Ghana to come to Jamaica.
I remember that.
And this was supposed to be in May, but
I remember that.
The pandemic literally stopped all air travel, so no one could go anywhere.
Shit, that was not it stopped.
Yeah, it was a huge problem, because as you know what happened to you earlier in the year, you know, you were locked out. I was fortunate enough to come back to Jamaica before the Prime Minister actually closed the borders. That didn't allow anybody in. So for a while, it was all we could do was stream, create content online, and we did a couple of vlogs in areas that allowed us to go when the pandemic was. The CDC and the WHO was trying to get their guidelines on how to deal with the pandemic.
However, we did get some stuff done before the lockdown, like when we went to see the Sonic movie.
Yes.
And some other stuff. We got some stuff done, because
there was a few things.
We never stopped. But in March, there was a cutoff point, and then we started back in July. Tell us some of the magic that took place in July.
So yes, so the event that we had set up for May for everyone to come down, since that had gotten canceled, we decided my wife, her birthday was in August, so we wanted to do a big plan to let's try to make this a huge celebration for the Empress Now, and we wanted to include all the Valkyries in it, and we got a couple of sponsors that supported us, definitely Color Switch, and definitely Lime Juice. These guys actually help us, and we raised the rest of the money. And we went to a hotel to celebrate the Valkyrie, Empress Now's 23rd birthday, Michael Jordan, LeBron James numbers. And we wanted to do a couple of photo shoots, the Bed Lounge Gaming, the Active Gaming Fitness, the Forever Summer. We have brands for each of the girls that they do. And, you know, pretty much the Live Video Game TV covered all of that. In my opinion, I think that's the best work you've done. But that's because, you know, hot girls, video games, and then with your quality of work, it's obviously the best work I'm going to believe he has done. Maybe the Chronicles of Ghana could compete.
The end product, maybe the end product was the best to you, and you know it's good. I try to improve all my productions, but some of the best work I think was Ghana Part 2. Yeah, that was some real good times, because that was a motherfucking adventure. But yeah, carry on. What else?
So, you know, after that, we had a couple of other things that we did. The Valkyries hosted an art contest.
That was good.
So, and that was actually very good. We did a couple of skits with the Live Video Game TV. They're exploring new areas with the Valkyries, with the...
we do these shorts. We've been doing these shorts. We've done a couple of shorts, and for every short, every other one that is made, I see where, you know, the acting levels up a bit. You know, it moves from C movie acting to not so bad C movie acting to some B movie acting. We're gonna get to not so bad B movie acting, then maybe someday we'll go to A-list. Well, shit, I am not even A-list, so I don't know how I'm gonna take you there, but it's possible. These girls have a lot of talent and
potential.
Yeah, definitely potential. And what we're doing with these ladies as well is kind of unearthing potential, because there are things these ladies are capable of doing that they themselves don't know they're capable of doing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if you asked some Valkyries if they were interested in acting a year ago, they might say, that's okay, but they might think they might believe they're not very good at it, but you know, they have other talents, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to jump the gun and take away so much you're gonna see, but we did a couple of player ones, a couple of features on each of the Valkyries where they actually presented themselves as human beings.
When I speak to Empress now and we go over some of these activities and projects that we want to get, there are things that we're talking about in the gaming. And as a man, the way we game, that should not dictate how women play video games. Like, they're women. They have, the way guys hang out at a bar is not the way women hang out at a bar. And for women to go and hang out at a bar, they don't have to be, oh, you have to do it like the guys. No, you know, that, in a sense, is sexist. Number two, the hypocrisy of guys. I mean, like, you and I are in our 40s. In our age, when we used to go to the arcades or any gaming event, there weren't a lot of girls there. And I can't speak for other people, but I can speak for myself. I wished for an age where girls could socially interact with video games and understand video games just like us and partake in the activities. We hoped for an age like that to happen. Now this age is here, guys are complaining. And like, you know how like guys will, back in the days where they'll have the comment where they're like, oh, you're being gay. And I'd be like, no, they're not being gay, because gay guys like girls playing video games and they support the girls playing the video games. These are straight dudes complaining about girls playing video games, saying all they're doing is showing cleavage. And I'm like, okay, so like that's their sex appeal. Like, well, what's the problem?
You know what? I understand what you're saying, but I think it may be human nature to complain. I think it's just human nature, because when you think about it, look at Call of Duty. Call of Duty comes out, and the game is fine, it's all good. It overtook Medal of Honor's spot, and it's the leading game, World War II, everybody's loving it, then people start to complain. I'm sick of this shit every freaking year. Same game, same different name. And it's just a World War II. They say, okay, fine, let's put it to Modern Warfare, current days. Okay, motherfuckers, try that. Yeah. It's great, it's great, it's great. You make 2 fucking games in the Modern Warfare era. Oh, I'm sick of this shit. Yes. Every game comes out is the same thing. So they put it into the fucking Star Trek era where people's like Halo, people start wearing jetpacks and jumping and wall running, and people still fucking complaining. So what do these motherfuckers do? They put it back to World War II. And I think these devs must be just laughing their asses off, like these assholes. Like, they just have to complain. Look, if you do not like Call of Duty because it's the same game every year, then maybe you shouldn't like FIFA either, because that's the same fucking game every year. It's the same. Yeah, you might tweak the mechanics a bit, but it's the same. So what I'm saying is, if you get sick of Call of Duty, but you still like first-person shooters, go play some Halo, go play some Destiny, go play some Deus Ex. There's other things.
Or they can just play the current Call of Duty that they like.
And shut the fuck up.
And
but my point is that people love to complain. So, ladies in gaming, no matter what you do, people are gonna complain. If you get all nerdy and you button up and you put on some thick ass glasses and you put your hair in fucking buns, they're gonna complain. And if you just stay upright and speak like a freaking school teacher, they're gonna complain. You go there and chill out and your cleavage is showing and you're talking some shit and you're using profanity, and they're gonna complain.
Your cosplay, they're gonna complain.
They're gonna complain. No matter what you call a cosplayer, so they're gonna complain. So just do your thing and do it to the best of your ability. And you know, it's like there's this thing that Billy Mitchell said to me in an interview. He was quoting his wife. He made like 3 or 4 very profound quotes. All the Billy Mitchell haters who are watching this, you're like, let me go type some stupid shit. Let me go hit the dislike. Fuck you. So like I was saying, his wife said the most profound thing. She said, you have to do what you love in life, as that makes the rest of life bearable. So you just do your thing. It's similar to what Hasari said on her Player One. She likes to do what she likes to do, not what people tells her to do. So just do your thing. You're not harming anybody.
Yes.
Fuck them.
Yeah, and speaking of the Billy Mitchell, did you know he reached a score higher than the perfect Pac-Man score?
Well, I didn't know, but we all know Billy Mitchell, and Billy Mitchell is gonna do Billy Mitchell, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna do that. That doesn't surprise me one fucking bit. That's like somebody telling me that, hey, you're seeing both one another race.
Yeah,
what's new?
That's true.
What's new?
You know, he's up to date now. He got his records back for those who didn't know. And I know some of you guys in the comment section is probably going to hate that. But, like, he's beating you guys. I don't know what you guys got to do. I know you're getting tight, but he's beating you guys.
But now that you talk about it, now that you mentioned Billy Mitchell, I'm just saying, love him, hate him, I don't give a shit. Love Triforce Johnson, hate him. I'm pretty sure most of you came on to this video simply because of what the thumbnail said. Yeah, that was some real clickbait shit at my end. But it's not really clickbait because it really happened, but I'm sure the thumbnail is why people, like the wall I did before, it says Triforce Johnson exposed. And You know, I'll put up a video and it's like a struggle for me to even get past 2 digits. You know what I mean? I get 11 views and I have to be like throwing a fucking victory party. But you put up a thing that says Triforce Johnson exposed and all of a sudden everybody's fucking on the video. I get it, people like bad news, but my point is, here at the Lab Video Game TV, the slogan is, our game is never over. But the original slogan was supposed to be, the Lab Video Game TV, I do not give a fuck. So yeah, let's get back to what the Valkyries were doing. So there was the art competition.
Yes, there was an art competition. We contact many different artists, we would call them amateur artists, yes. Throughout
One of them was not amateur. No, actually, all of them were pretty damn good. If those are amateur artists.
Yeah, well, amateur in the sense like,
God.
okay, you know.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, because some people may call me an amateur filmmaker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Compared to Tyler Perry, who the fuck am I? So I get that, but these guys.
The quality of their work was at an actual professional artist level.
There was this guy who did this thing with Usain Bolt and Muhammad Ali, and that was photorealistic.
Yes, he was ridiculous. He's the one who won the contest. So he actually won the contest.
Good job.
So that was great because the community came out. They were able to meet up with the Valkyries. They had some ice cream. Big shout outs to Infinity Gelato because they provided the ice cream, and Color Switch that actually sponsored the purchases of the ice cream for all the art contestants because they want to push up the community in that scene. Now we're going to do more. That's just that was the first annual one, and we want to actually try to do have it every year or do multiples throughout the year. And then, like I said, we went over the shorts with the Valkyries, and the next big thing that we're doing now with the Valkyries. Well, before we get to the next big thing, the Halloween sleepover. That was a funny stream with the girls. They came in. Some of them in their costumes for Halloween. We streamed for the entire night. Then they had a sleepover. We streamed the sleepover. Well, up to the point where everyone went to sleep and we turned it off. Because there are some people that actually stream themselves sleeping. We have a big event coming up tomorrow. One of the things, we have someone from the United States coming over to Jamaica to spend 10 days with the Valkyries. And this is very important for us because one of the things we want to do with our women in gaming is we want them to be accessible. Okay. We want people to be able to engage with them in gaming content, dancing, music, singing, art, all those different things. We don't want them to be, because you have a lot of female content creators out there, then all they do is they are behind their TV screen, they just play their video games and they talk to their friends via chat, and they can't get everyone because it's just them by themselves. They can't literally speak to every single person that's commenting to them. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying what there is versus what we want to do with the Valkyries. We want to make the Valkyries accessible. We want to be able to put out there that, listen, you're a fan of these girls, you can actually meet them. You can actually spend time with them. You can actually game with them. So we're working on a lot of different ways for people to be able to do that. And we're doing a test with one of our community favorites, Stated Average. He's flying down tomorrow and he's going to come in. We're going to get an Airbnb and he's going to be able to chill with the Valkyries and play games. And he's going to record it for his purposes. He has his phone that he's going to be doing it. And I'm going to be doing some vlogs and stuff like that. And we want to put that out there so that other people can look at, and when they see the type of fun he's having with them, that is the direction we're heading for our future events. Like, can you imagine a Valkyries of Arcadia convention? People can come down and chill with the Valkyries for 3 days or something like that at an actual convention. Accessibility and engagement. That's what we're trying to do with them. So that's what we have on the table for tomorrow.
I can see clearly. Right now, I'm like motherfucking Miss Cleo. I can see that motherfucker by the keyboard typing some disrespectful shit about Triforce being a pimp. That's not what he's saying. Okay? Think about it this way. If there was a group, I'm not really hip on music anymore. Yeah, I have a teenage daughter, but I have 2 teenage daughters actually, and I am not too hip on music, but let's say old school, Destiny's Child, or TLC is what they're called?
Yeah, TLC, yeah.
Look, say a group like that gave a fan an opportunity to spend a day with them. A fan an opportunity to spend a weekend with them. It's like that. It's take your minds out of the gutter, okay? It's just this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to remove certain stigmas. That's why we create these player one profiles for these ladies, and we do all these different things with these ladies. Sometimes you see them dancing, sometimes they're gaming, sometimes they're acting, sometimes they're doing all kinds of crazy shit. And the reason why we do that, we're trying to put it to the forefront that these are people. These aren't made up people. Like some people probably think that certain movie stars really don't exist because they are so far out of reach. And I'm not saying these ladies are movie stars, but they are who they are. They are influencers, and Empire Arcadia, to the best of their ability in their limited capacity, just giving people a chance to engage with their favorite YouTubers on a different level that most people can't.
Yeah, we want to always be able to, evolve. We don't want to keep doing what everybody else is doing. We want to be able to separate the brands. You know, there are many different girl gamer groups, brands out there. We just want the Valkyries to have their, this is them. You know the difference between the Valkyries of Arcadia versus a regular girl who's starting up her stream and playing video games. We want that difference. We want to be able to bring a different product to the quote unquote market, so that for people to engage in. And you, on that note, like, earlier in the year when you did the Empress Now's birthday celebration, there was a Just Dance competition, right? And that they had, and one of the winner could expend the weekend with Empress Now and the Valkyries.
That's what I'm talking about. And that's what I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off. It's just that lots of people will misinterpret what we're doing, so I keep trying to bring it to the forefront. That's a perfect example when I say that stated average, he's gonna come down, he's gonna enjoy himself with the girls. That's great. It's just as with the weekend that we had with the Valkyries. The winner, and it was more than the winner, because at the end of the competition, Empress Nile announced that everybody's
place,
shit. Second and third, you're all going. So those ladies were able to have a great time there as well. It was good, clean fun, and that's exactly what we're doing here. So that's a really good.
And the funny thing, the second place winner ended up becoming a Valkyrie.
Oh yeah, that's Abby. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. I didn't. Yeah, you're right.
She couldn't believe. She had said in an interview that she's like, the girls brought out a lot of confidence in her. She had a lot of fun. It changed her entire perspective of things, that she was new to it.
I have definitely given Abby the nickname Silent River.
Silent River?
Silent River. Because Jamaican people always say silent rivers run deep.
Oh, okay.
And that's Abby. She's a silent river, but she's deep.
And so like outside of that, we want to always keep evolving. We want to continue our streams. Like I said, we have a podcast. It's kind of funny. I was talking. So yesterday, Valkyrie, Vivid Queen, she wanted to come over and do her weekly stream, and that we didn't even get to do that because I was arrested on my way back to the house with food to start up our stream and stuff like that. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" It was
Triforce.
Yes.
Tell us about that, because I'm sure that 90% of the people are here for that.
Yeah.
90% of you motherfuckers just wanted to hear like how Triforce suffered.
Yes.
Tell us about this arrest.
Well, every weekend the girls will come over. We try to get them as a group, but within the last month or two, we had to get them one by one because we're just trying to accommodate with what we have. With finite resources. And Tia came over, and before we stream, we always go grab food so the girls can eat, so that when they're streaming, they're not hungry or whatever. We came out of a fish store, and I had 2 bags on my hands. So as we coming out of the fish store, we had the food and the drinks and so forth. And I was walking back on my way to the house with the girls, and I guess a police officer was calling me, but they were saying, "Hey," and so I'm like, "My name is not Hey." Couldn't be talking to me, and the voice was coming behind me. So I just kept it moving because I just tried to stay out of trouble or whatever. Then there was a police officer in front of me who was pointing at me, pointing behind me. So I was like, huh? And then I turn around, and it's a police officer yelling at me, and I couldn't hear him because he had his mask on. So I told him to take off his mask, and he took off his mask. He said, "Put on your mask." And so for some of you guys may be asking, well, why do you have your mask off? Well, I'm not in a building. Like when you walk outside and it's spacious and stuff like that, you can wear your mask off unless there's a gathering. If there's a gathering, then you have to put your mask on. But I was just in the street, there was no event going on. We was in the street coming back home, coming from the store to go walk home. So it's up to you if you want to wear a mask or not. either way, the point is the officer told me to put on my mask, so I complied, and I literally went in my pocket to put on my mask, and my back is now turned, and I guess the same officer who directed me to the man who told me to put on a mask literally came and bumped me with the gun. He says, "Get in the truck."
And that's some shit.
And I'm like, "Get in the truck for what?" So he said, "Get in the truck." So I said, "I'm putting on my mask." He said, "No, get in the truck." So I said, "Hold on, I want to show my ID." And he's like, "No, get in the truck." So one thing led to another. I end up in the truck, and now I'm down in the police station, and they charged me for violating the, what's the name for this thing here? The Disaster Risk Management Act. There was a bunch of other people outside without masks. I don't know what made them single me out, but the point is I was there, and the part where we were being arraigned, well, as you can see here in this picture, in this image here, we're in this small room, like shoulder to shoulder, no 6 feet, not even 1 feet. We're literally all next to each other. So I don't understand how they're supposed to be fulfilling the policies of the Disaster Risk Management Act if they then endanger us to the very same COVID-19. This doesn't make any sense. And I was like, wait, what? So yeah, that's where we're at.
So yeah, I think we covered everything. Did I leave anything out?
When Staley gets down here, that will determine how we want to be able to do what we have set up in May of next year. Because that all hinges on, if it's a successful venture, when he comes down here, then we can plan one bigger with more people. So that's how we're going to gauge it and take a look at it, because then we can host a couple of competitions. Winners of the competition get a free flight from the US. We're going to keep this in the US right now because international flights may be a little bit more difficult during this time of the pandemic. So, and we want to fly some guests down to spend a week with the Valkyries and chill with them and play some video games and do some vlogs. In between then and now, obviously we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff with the live video game TVs within the community, the area under the guidelines of this pandemic that we're going through. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But you know that Empire Arcade is a very unpredictable organization.
Yeah.
You can never tell what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. We could be in Venezuela next week. You can never tell what's going to happen. That's just a fact. Thanks for watching, guys. I know they said this is like a year in review, but it's more like a year in review with Empire Arcadia, Valkyries of Arcadia, not particularly the lab video game TV year in review. That'd probably be some boring shit, because all I've really done is a lot of indie reviews, VR reviews.
I like those.
I like them, but they're not as exciting. The stuff that we do together with Empire Arcadia is some out-of-the-box shit, you know what I'm saying? Everybody does a fucking video review, you know what I'm saying? But some of the stuff that you do, some of the stuff that we do as a team is like unrivaled in my humble or not so humble opinion. But yeah, on the channel I've been doing a lot of indie reviews, a lot of VR reviews. I've actually stepped that pace up a lot since summer. Being in quarantine and locked out of the country for so many months kind of makes your mind get busy if you allow it to. So yeah, I did a lot of those. You can look out for this new feature I have coming out. My latest movers and shakers will be on Game Station, a new arcade that opened up in Queens. Pretty interesting, African owned. Family business, really nice. That'll be coming out really soon. I'll be putting out my top indie games for 2020. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you like my content, you feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know the whole spiel. If I pissed you off, fuck it. Hit the dislike button, hit the unsubscribe button, and I will not hold it against you, because our game is never over.